there is a new ordinance coming up on October 1st regarding backflow preventers. Could you guys talk about that and what residents need to know?
Well, let me talk a little bit about that. Backflow prevention is something that the state of Texas requires us to incorporate into our network of water system. And very simply, a backflow preventer you'll see at residences and commercial establishments. It's to ensure that any backflow water that has already gone through the meter at your residence and possibly into your home or into your irrigation system doesn't come back into our system, our main lines. And why is that important? Well, there are many possibilities, many instances that can contaminate our water system. And the litany of things that can happen is a long list of things. But what we like to talk about are the simple things, the things that people can quickly understand can contaminate our system. And that is, you'll go around the city sometimes and you'll watch somebody out with their water hose, putting all kinds of stuff in their grass, stuff that's good for their lawn, good for their garden, fertilizers and so on. Many of them that you can buy to plug right into the hose. Well, and while this doesn't happen often, if by chance there is some kind of interruption in our system, a water break of a main or a fire, the rupture of a main is probably more common, then that sudden need of pressure, when you have a rupture of a main line, the water is going to flow to that break. And what it creates is a vacuum. Very simply, it creates a vacuum. Water is rushing out of that break or at the fire hydrant if there's a case of a fire. And that vacuum sucks water back into that location. And so while you're standing there with that hose with fertilizer in it, if there's enough vacuum, quote unquote, on that break, that water will go back into our system. So whatever you're holding in your hand that you purchased at the nearest department store suddenly is in our system. Another example that we use is we use fertilizer on our lawns. And for those people that have sprinkler systems, that fertilizer is uniformly distributed on your lawn. Well, if by chance some of that fertilizer gets into those heads of the sprinkler system, funnels its way back by what I just described, same type of problem. Animal deposits, we'll call them. That's a very real thing. You know, there is obviously a lot of animal lovers in McAllen. We've got a dog park now. And feces in your yard is a serious issue when you've got a sprinkler system at your home or in a commercial establishment. The same situation that I described could easily force those kinds of contaminants back into our system. So the backflow preventer basically ensures that that doesn't happen. Having said all that, it's a state mandate. For a system of our size, we're required to not only ensure that backflow preventers are installed, but that they are maintained. And I'll tell you this, that even I, as a general manager, think that inspection of that system once a year, you know, probably on the side of a little onerous. But that's what the state of Texas requires through the TCEQ. And so we have very little leeway as to what to do or how often that inspection happens. It says you do that inspection yearly, and that's what we're required to do. So the board in 2010 went through a series of workshops. We educated ourselves, both at the staff level and at the board level, as to what the requirements are, why the requirements are what they are, and they set a date. And that date was October the 1st of 2011. We will begin enforcing backflow prevention and the maintenance of backflow prevention. So October the 1st is around the corner. We've already talked to the board about probably giving about a 60-day transitional period to get everyone kind of used to it. The truth of the matter, Ray, is that most residents and commercial establishments already comply with that ordinance. We're talking a vast majority of them, probably close to the 80%, if not better, already comply. So we're looking to hopefully educate the rest of those folks, let them know the importance of this ordinance, and hopefully help them through this transitional period, get them to comply to the ordinance.
All right, and there's plenty of information on the website we should mention. If they go to McAllen.net/MPU, and then they go to the transmission and distribution link, down at the bottom of the page, there's frequently asked questions about what a backflow preventer is and who needs one. So that's a great resource. All they have to do is go to the website and they can get a lot of questions answered.